Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I'm your host, along with the stark statue herself, Sandy Reevy.
Dark statue.
It is episode 151, June 14th. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we have Monday, June 14th, Saturn retrograde, square Uranus.
Conflict day. Are you aware?
Sunday, June 20th, Jupiter stations retrograde.
Hold on to what you see.
And Sun in Cancer.
Summer solstice.
Then in Talisman Times, Sandy has finished up a few you won't want to miss, as well as a special upcoming to possess a beautiful appearance and an appreciative nature. Then on the horizon, we have our Talisman Trunk Show and Raffle coming up this week, along with the Jupiter and Pisces Talisman Workshop Part 2, and our astrology forecast, as well as our 7-day intention challenge. And in our house, Sandy and I are going to recap Sandy's favorite artist, Pink, and her Billboard performance. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
And the search ends here, where the night is totally clear, and your heart is fierce, and so you finally know you control where you go.
Yes, the stark statue. I know you're so confused.
Stark.
Like stark naked.
Oh my God. Please erase that right now.
No, so I came over to record the podcast today, and it's the weekend. So you said that you were upstairs on your top deck, half naked, in a bikini. That's not naked at all.
For a 65-year-old in a bikini?
You feel like it's naked. You look fabulous.
Oh my gosh. This is this bikini I bought on the sands of Copacabana.
Ooh, in Brazil.
In Brazil. And they literally, can I quick tell you this?
Yeah.
One person walks around with this big umbrella. Like this big umbrella that, you would put in your outdoor furniture deck table, right?
Yeah.
One guy carries like all the bottoms all clipped to the edge, opened. The umbrella's opened, and all of the bottoms are clipped to the umbrella. And he's just walking it on his shoulder across the sand, and then somebody will call him over and buy a bottom, And then a little bit later, you're waiting for the guy with the tops, right? And here comes the guy with the tops all. And so I had on a bathing suit, a two-piece bathing suit. And I didn't want any strap marks. So I called him over.
The top guy.
And I bought this, strapless, green and white with this big ring in the front. And anyway, it was like, this is my Brazilian.
It's perfect.
Part of my bathing suit.
Yeah. It was your going away present.
Yes.
Okay. So welcome in, everybody. Of course, we want to say thank you for listening to our podcast. Make sure to tune in all the way, because then you get to hear about our house, where we get to discuss personal things or things we want to talk about. So let's go direct to you all. Of course, keep sharing our podcast, keep commenting, rating us. We love all those 5 stars. I did receive an email from Nicole J, and this was regarding a reading that she had with you. And she says, thank you very much for the recording. A little quick aside, I send the recordings after the readings. She says, thank you very much for the recording, and thanks to Sandy for an amazing session. I cannot wait to rewatch the reading several times. The hour I spent with Sandy helped me make sense of a chaotic season of unprecedented growth in my career, and I walked away feeling clear-headed for the first time in a long time.
Oh, yay.
It's all about my path forward. Looking forward to my next reading. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Oh, and Jay, you're welcome. I love talking to you.
Of course. So, of course, if you have any emails that you want to send over to us, email me info@intentionbeads.com. So let's get into the transits. We have a short week to talk about. However, we're going to start off the week today, Monday, June 14th, with Sandy's conflict day. So this is Saturn retrograde square Uranus. Let's talk more about this.
At 5:01 p.m., are you aware? And I did use a question mark here. Are you aware? But I really want to like use all kinds of like a comma, a semicolon, a "Are you aware?" exclamation, "Are you aware?" period. I want to capitalize all of that. I want to quote it. I want to put it in parentheses. I want to bold it, because this is the time to make corrections. Now, this is the second pass of the most difficult aspect of the year. The first pass was February 17th, to be exact, when both both planets were direct. This was Saturn was direct and Uranus were direct. So they were both powerful and came up in a square to each other for a big, massive conflict. Like, right? Like, whoa.
Right.
And then they go about their ways. One's trying to change and one is trying to conform or stay conformed, right? And it's these two sides that are really they're squaring each other. They can't see. You know, sometimes in oppositions, you can at least see the other person. Like, I see what you're saying, but I don't agree. Right? That can be an opposition. Right. But this is like, how do we come to an agreement with a square?
Like, you can't even see the other side.
Yeah, it's like they're the second pass of this surprise shift. You know, is it still surprising you, or is it shocking you? Because this time Saturn is retrograde, and that's why we get 3 passes, is because both of these planets will go retrograde in this square and come back and be in relationship to each other in the square. So this time Saturn's retrograde. So Uranus has the liberation strength without Saturn holding steady. So there seems to be more shifts and liberation and progress is maybe breaking. Now, anytime you get a Uranus into the mix of an aspect, even if it's a nice trine or a sextile, you will still have some sort of disruption. It can bring high intensity excitement, which that can still disrupt, or a chaotic measure. You know, one of the things I was going to say about your going direct today, and NJ's comment to us about this, you know, upheaval of her life and this incredible growth is, you know, it comes, even though it's all great in her chart,
right?
It shows up as, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle it. There does seem to be an upheaval, like she used.
Right. She said a chaotic season of unprecedented growth.
Right. So chaotic, there's the word.
Right.
And so, you know, Uranus wants to make a disruption. And you know, with astrology, and even within the non-astrology world, there doesn't seem to be real change, solid structure, established change without disruption. You know? Mm-hmm. So these two come together. This is my conflict day of the month. You know, the third pass here is on December 24th. This is, you know, Christmas Eve, when Uranus is now retrograde and Saturn is direct, and he will be in charge. So, you know, kind of watch what's going on in the news right now. I mean, currently in the news, we've got the G7 going on. I just got a Washington Post notification that the Prime Minister, Netanyahu, I think you say his name, has just been moved out of reign. Oh yeah, this is, you know, there was a majority of groupings coming together, leaders coming together to oust him, and they did. They were able to do it. So things that have been in a solid state that haven't moved seem to be moving right now. So pay attention to all of the progress that is coming. It may be that we might feel like we're making progress right now because Saturn's debilitated in retrograde. He's unable to kind of fight for his stand. So Uranus is doing all the surprises and the changes. However, wait till we get to the end of the year and the final pass of this when Uranus doesn't have as much power. So let's just probably know that whatever is going on right now still is in the flux.
It hasn't been resolved.
It hasn't been resolved.
So let's move on. Sunday, June 20th, you have 2 transits here, and it's the end of the week. So we kind of skip all the way from Monday to Sunday. So let's talk about Sunday's transit. The first transit, Jupiter stations retrograde.
Yeah, this is at 10:06 a.m. And like this is to me a big deal. You know, we have really honored Jupiter moving into his home sign of Pisces for the last month. But this is the day that he starts heading retrograde, and he does every year. But it will stay in Pisces until the end of July. However, I want you to hold on to what you see. What do you vision? What is inspiring you? What is your creativity? What is it you want to grow? You got a little evidence, a little peek, a little vision of it, a little hunch, a little, you know.
We get it. Yeah.
Tweak. I wanted to say twerk, but maybe you got that too. I don't know. That keeps you in that future planning, holds on to that hope and prosperity that you got a glimpse of. Doesn't mean you have to wait. It just means that it's going to be a little bit harder to get if you haven't gotten it already. So I want to just go through. It's at 2 degrees of Pisces. It moves back to 22 degrees of Aquarius. And he will be retrograde until October 18th. That's a 4-month retrograde, typical for him. Birthdays. If your birthday, because that's the one time we know, the one planet that we know where the planet will be
right
throughout the year. February 19, February 20, February 21. So that 3-day area is the area that equates to that 2 degrees of Pisces. So that will definitely receive the flavor of the journey inward. I mean, we will all go inward to see if what is that vision sustainable that we've had? Is that plan, is that intention something that we can start working on? But we have to ask ourselves that on the inward. As our desires, our gifts, and our visions, are these worthy of our time, our energy, our money? So again, birthdays. So birthdays from February 11th through February 18th will receive the second of these passes. So any planets that are going, or any planets that you have in your chart from 22 of Aquarius to really 0 degrees of Pisces, that includes that 29-59 of Aquarius, will have this Jupiter come back and inspire you more. So hold on to what you see. It can be true for you in 2022, if not before.
And the second transit of June 20th, Sun in Cancer. Happy birthday, Cancers. And it's also the summer solstice.
This happens at 10:32 p.m. And this always is a portal time, the day before and the day after, including the day of. So this is a new season. And the sun moves from Gemini, which is a mutable air, and moves into Cancer, which is a cardinal water. So moves from the versatile ideas and moves into starting things with emotion. And so this is, a new season. So it's about, being with your loved ones, nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, taking care of your home, going to family reunions. Maybe there's more family reunions going on this year than there were last year for sure. So look to where you can find, even in your tribe, if it's not family, in your circle of tribe, for any support that you would need. It's really a nice time to, engage with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's our short wrap on the week. And let's move into Talisman Times. You have finished up 4 talismans. The first was Thursday, June 10th, to benefit from ancestral gifts.
I am a daughter of a mother, as she is, as hers is. This line of heritage continues through the ages. I do my part with love, as the lineage proves to be. So
Love it.
this one, yeah, and actually all of the, not all, but 3 of the 4 talismans I made this past week have been specific in nature. This particular one has Sagittarius rising, with Jupiter sitting right on the 4th house cusp, with the moon making a really nice trine to Jupiter and to Venus from the 4th. So something about ancestral love and gifts and women.
And this one pre-sold, which was exciting, especially because it's going to the perfect person. I'm very excited for that. So
well, hopefully we get some response. Right. It's really cool. Somebody that's in the field somewhere in the world.
Healing that ancestral lineage.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday, June 11th, to be surrounded by happiness and love.
This place is mine. I share with you. I welcome more positivity in exchange for even more goods. I am protected. So it's this offering that this moon is enclosed between the 2 Jupiter and Venus, which are the 2 benefics. So it's like surrounded by love and happiness. And happiness and love.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And same day, Friday, June 11th, you also created to feel warmed with parental gifts. I am
extremely, but that's not what I wrote. I am eternally grateful to be loved and protected by these financial assets. My elderly family members have provided these to me and for me. I handle these with focused intention, more to give. This is a Moon and Venus. Moon's ruling the 8th house, making an application to Venus. So Moon in Cancer, applying to Venus in Cancer in the 8th house, really does allow for that inheritance, that other people's money is provided to you, and you have pure intention to do the right thing with this money and feel love and protection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how this and the ancestral gifts kind of like correlate a little.
Yeah.
So Saturday, June 12th, you created to play with children or as a child.
I laugh at the silliness of acting like an innocent child, mine or my inner child self. Hello there. Do you want to hear a joke? Funny, right?
Yeah. Cute.
No, that's
I know.
Okay, that's the
affirmation. I know.
Really strong 5th house here with that night chart, because this was in the middle of the night, with Moon and Venus both being the sect lights of a night chart, and in the 5th house, which is called the good spirit, it is the house of children. So it's about, and the Moon in Cancer, applying to a strong conjunction, really within like 45 solar arc minutes. It's pretty tight. So this one's, and actually, can I just tell you when I made this one?
Yeah.
I made a large bead for this one. I sometimes don't know
the style.
When I get in, I might guess, this should be a small bead or this should be a large bead. And I guessed, and I didn't know on this one. So when I got into the moment, it was like, no, make a large bead. And I looked at all my canes, that we've done over the last 40 years, which is what I use. And I went for the horse, the candy cane, the fish, the sailboat. I went for all whimsical
more like
patterns.
childish images.
And I never use those with my intention bracelets.
Yes.
But I did this
childhood
time.
is filled with so much imagery, with cartoons and pictures and drawing and colors, and that's perfect. So perfect.
Yeah.
Going back to a more simple time.
True that.
So let's check out the upcoming talisman. That's Saturday, June 19th, to possess a beautiful appearance and an appreciative nature.
I am honored to be noticed for the stature I possess. I intentionally perform my duties into the world, wrapped in love and grace. I care.
Is this like a Venus and Cancer type of
Exactly.
thing? I'm right on.
Exactly. Because at this point, the moon has moved past the Cancer, finished with Leo, finished with Virgo, has now moved into Libra. So Libra's rising, moon in the first house, making a really nice aspect to Venus in mutual reception. And mutual reception is when one planet is in the other planets, when they're in aspects, they're signs. So we've got Venus in Cancer and moon in Libra. So they're in each other's domicile. So that's always a strength and power assistance here. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
that's the next one.
And everyone, don't forget the orbit of the month is online. It is My Mind and Body Are Proud of Me. And this is just a beautiful affirmation that you created this month, actually.
The beginning of the month. And I think that's what I'm going to start doing, is doing brand new orbits for the month that we're pushing out there. Very limited in supply. I think we have a few left. Yeah.
So let's move on to the horizon. June 16th at 5:30 p.m. And remember, all of the times that we discuss here on the podcast are Central Time. This is our Talisman Trunk Show and Raffle event. This is open to everybody. All you have to do is buy a raffle ticket. So you pay $10 for each raffle ticket. You can buy as many as you'd like. But the kicker is that with every raffle ticket that you purchase, I send you a gift certificate for that same amount. So your money is literally held in a gift certificate, and you get the chance to win an intention bracelet of your choice. It's win, 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 win. This is an amazing event where you can be present virtually as Sandy goes through her talismans, teaching you so much more than what we can just write on the product description online. So about her inspiration behind the colors, behind the words, and really give you an up close and personal look of just how the talisman looks and feels.
And sparkles.
And sparkles. So that's June 16th. We would love you to join in. Make sure to buy at least one of those raffle tickets, and you will be given all of the links to join and check out all of the talismans. So June 20th at 5:25 a.m. Central Time, we have our Jupiter and Pisces Talisman Workshop. This is the second one, so it was kind of a we were duplicating, an either or event. There was one earlier this month, almost last month, actually.
It was last month.
Oh my goodness.
It was in
Time is flying. So this Jupiter and Pisces Talisman Workshop, we've done one previously. This is another opportunity for anyone who wants to join in. This is a great chance to really tune in to that spiritual, that intuition, that abundance that you know is inside of you, but sometimes it's just hard to unlock. So you get your talisman, you get your chart, as well as a whole written out worksheet that Sandy writes for your chart in particular. It's a great event. We had lots of reviews from people who joined in. One of them that rings true to me still, right as we were about to sign off the Zoom call, someone yells out, "Best investment ever." Because how can we invest in ourselves and invest in that, growth and optimism and opportunistic thinking? This is one of those ways. And if you're on the fence, I say at least click the link and learn a little bit more about what we're going to discuss. So let's move on. June 26th at 10 a.m., just like every other month, we have our astrology forecast. This will be for July dates. And feel free, jump in anytime, ask questions, engage. We also have our cheat sheet, our July cheat sheet that will be available soon, where you're going to be able to, it's like the Spark Notes version. You don't have to watch the whole entire hour-long video of Sandy and Susan. You can just have these dates all beautifully written out. have it by your desk, or at least transfer those dates into your planner so that you're cognizant, you're aware of what's going on those days astrologically. Also, I should announce that we have our 7-day intention challenge that's happening July 10th through the 16th. And this is for Talisman owners only. This is the either personal or universal intention bracelets. And if you have purchased one in the past, you will be getting an email. If you don't get that email, make sure to reach out to me, alex@intentionbeads.com. But if you are interested in looking for a talisman of your own, I recommend doing it soon so that this 7-day challenge, you get the invite. It can invigorate your intention practice, get you excited, and hear about other people's journeys and where they're at.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So,
because it started out as just a replacement for our Mexico retreat that we do every January. And of course, we didn't do it this year. We did get it in last year, right before everything. And we missed it this year. And I thought, we need to get a group together. We need a 7-day something. And it proved to be so successful that we ran it again. We're going to be doing it every quarter.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a way to reinvigorate those intentions that you have. So that's all for On the Horizon. Let's move into our house, where you and I, Mom, are going to be recapping the Pink Billboard performance.
Well, typically we would be like dancing right now, listening to it, and teary-eyed and just feeling the power. It's incredible feminine power.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree with that.
Yeah, the fact that it piggybacks her documentary that she did,
which if
on
you haven't
HBO,
seen that, it's
yeah.
great. It's called All I Know So Far, which is actually the same name of the song that she also performed in the Billboard performance. Mm-hmm. However, I should give you a little bit of of an idea. This documentary follows her around on this big tour that she's ending in Wimbledon, in this big arena. It's like the
Manchester,
and it's going like this incredible crescendo of her career. She has her kids following her along now, as well as her husband, and she just has these beautiful reflections on, a normal-ish life. So check it out. Also on YouTube is her Billboard performance, and it was incredible. So give us a summary.
So if you are a fan like I am, you already know. If you are not a fan, I bet after watching this documentary and watching this little what is it, like a 5-minute excerpt from the radio, what is it, the billboards, that you will be. I know, Alex, you were like, yeah, I like Pink. You play her music all the time.
Well, because all I can remember is like her with the mohawk, and she had this like tough girl persona,
badass,
and like badass, like throwing up middle fingers and stuff. And so that was what I knew of her, but that was early in her career when she was really trying to branch out and just be herself. Now that she's really settled into this sophistication, and also like very empowered feminine figure in like pop culture, I like really greatly appreciate her more, but she's not as much in the limelight as she was. So I guess I hadn't really seen a lot of, who she was or her interviews and all of that. So she's completely pulled a 180. I think that's also reflective in her music as well as her demeanor. And yeah, she's inspiring. She's cool. I didn't know that she wrote all of her songs. I didn't know that she had 2 kids. I mean, I didn't know a lot about her.
And her oldest, Willow, who's I think like 8 or 9 right now, performs with her. And during COVID, they wrote this little girl wrote the song that is now, covered in sunshine, just saying about we will laugh again, and the world still spins just like it always has and did, and we're all okay.
Yeah.
But she performs the All I Know So Far on braided, what do you call those? Silks?
Oh yeah, aerial silks.
Aerial silks. And if you've ever been to a Pink concert like I have, probably 7 or 8,
it's very
times,
aerobatic.
She's spinning and
acrobatic.
She's flying literally all around the stadium. She's clipped on everywhere. She's using these silks. I mean, she'll go up into the air
with
on
no
these
lifelines,
fabrics,
right,
and spin down with one of her dancers. But she does it on this billboard with her daughter.
Yeah, and
it gives me goosebumps. And she had said, I listened to something where she said, her daughter said, "Yeah, I'll do it," and the husband, Carrie, overheard Pink, whose name is Alicia, to speak to her daughter, saying, you have to be 100% committed. And she says, "Mom, I am committed."
I think about that. I mean, you are an 8 or 9-year-old. Yes, you have this like amazing example and mentor in your mom, but she's on stage in front of millions of people, and she's been preparing for this her entire life.
Mm-hmm. She's a former gymnast.
Right.
Yeah.
But also singing in front of like, hundreds of thousands of people, and like being in that space and in that spotlight as a 9-year-old is impressive.
She goes up with her mom on her separate. They combine together. They do this. They spin around. She goes up by herself and spins around, and just the hug right at the end. It's just like,
you can see how proud she is.
Oh my God. And how happy the little girl was.
Oh,
anyway,
she's skipping off stage. She was like, yay!
Like, this is normal.
And then,
this
and
is
then
my
it
mom.
goes, yeah. And
I'm hanging with my mom.
Right. Seriously, it seemed like something that they would do like normally. And then all of a sudden it cuts over to the other spot on the stage where Pink finishes with this like montage of amazing songs
her big
from
songs.
her career.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you this story of like, how she would like get in a fight with her then boyfriend or
now husband.
Yeah, now husband. And how it would like kind of change, and these messages that she's giving him and her family. It's really beautiful, and it was just beautifully done. Her voice is impactful and heartfelt. So
anyway,
we can't talk more.
I go to it often. It's probably all I listen to.
Yeah,
as well.
I'll include the YouTube link of the Billboard performance on the description, so all you can, get jazzed about it as much as we are. So I know this is a short episode this week, but
strong.
It's short and strong.
Not a lot of quick moving planets moving around in the sky. We've got Mercury's getting ready to station, so he's not making a lot of hits to other planets. So we're really in this Saturn Uranus, and we're on this Jupiter stations retrograde while the sun moves. The sun stands still as it moves into
summer solstice.
The summer solstice.
Well, thank you everybody for listening in. We love you. We adore you. Let us know if you feel the same. That is in emails, in reviews on any of your podcast providers, and share us. We love word of mouth. It's our favorite form of marketing. So you all are deemed now our word of mouth team. So thank you everybody for listening in. We will see you next week.
Bye everybody.
And the search ends here, where the